So once you've been in the fragrance community for a minute, you'll start to notice that a lot of things start to smell the same. In this case, I have about, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fragrances. Yes, 5. Then I'm like, this is kind of suspect. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. These Amore here. Yes, we're doing, do these fragrances smell the same? Let's consider this a massive versus video. This is something I've been thinking about for a minute, and yeah, I can't hold out on it anymore. So let's talk about it. Lipstick of the day today, everyone. This is from MAC, and this is called Kinkster. It has not been discontinued, but there is a new lipstick that's essentially just like it, so I will link it below. Essentially on me, it's concealer lips. Think caramel in a lipstick form is what it is. So I will link that below, as well as everything else that I talk about today. Next up, we have fragrance of the day. Now this is new, and this one I am loving for fall, you all. This is from the house of Mancera, and this is Mancera's Amore Cafe. This scent right here, amaretto, vanilla, brown sugar, ice cream, coffee. This is a win. This is a win, and I'm here for it. And that again is Mancera's Amore Cafe, y'all. So all right, now let's get into these fragrances smell the same. Now the inspiration for this video, if you saw my previous sampling series video, I told you all we would talk more about this. And this is based off of Montale Intense Cafe. I have a decant of this scent. I also have this official sample of this scent, so I know how this scent smells, right? And a lot of people often bring up this fragrance for a lot of comparisons, a lot of other fragrances, give or take 1 or 2, but I've noticed a trend, and I have the main ones that tend to come up right here in front of me, full bottles at that. So we're going to determine, do these actually smell all the same? And also at the end, I will tell you which one is my favorite. So let's get into it. So first up, I actually did some research, and I'm glad I did do that research, because originally I thought that Intense Cafe was the OG, right? Because Intense Cafe came out in 2013. So I'm like, okay, it's been out for, what's this, 11 years now. So okay, that's like forever in fragrance terms. And people often say it's inspired a lot of fragrances. And I also thought that too, right? Did some research and found out actually it wasn't first for this list of fragrances that remind me of this scent. Something else came before it. In fact, it came 2 years before it, and that is this fragrance right here, y'all. And this is Mancera's Roses Vanille. I have the old style of bottle, so you know this has been with me for a minute. I've had this bottle for years. A little bit goes a very long way. You do not have to bathe in this scent to make it perform. By the way, full dedicated review is already up on the channel for Roses Vanille, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But this scent came out in 2011, and I said, okay, interesting. Which, to be fair, I will say this to y'all, Mancera and Montale are sister companies. And then when I did some further research, I saw that Roses Vanille as well as Intense Cafe were both made by the same perfumer, which is Pierre Montale, right? So let's compare the note compositions, right? So let's start with our baseline here, which is Intense Cafe. So that's what's inspired the video. Intense Cafe, you all, it has notes of rose and coffee is what it's made, is what it's about. Rose and coffee, that's what they say. And then on top of that, we have vanilla, amber, and white musk. So it's not super complex of a scent, and I do have it sprayed out here. And you do get that this is a rose and coffee scent, like that is what it is. And the musk is what makes the scent last a long time on skin. One thing about Intense Cafe, you all, it lasts for a very long time. A little bit goes a very long way. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's been a bestseller for Montale and people love it. So it's a rose and coffee scent with musk, in my opinion. Some sweetness, but not a whole lot of sweetness. But then let's get into what I feel like has become more popular as of late, even though the scent is not new. Again, it's older, and that again is the Roses Vanille fragrance, right? Roses Vanille, you all have heard me talk about it. A lot of people talk about it here in the fragrance community. Whether you review fragrance or not, this is a favorite. Roses Vanille is a love for a lot of people. So the notes for Roses Vanille, y'all, we have Italian lemon, Turkish rose, and then a base of vanilla, white musk, and cedar. So there is no coffee in this fragrance, but however, that musk, vanilla, and then there is still, of course, rose in the scent. So that right there alone, okay, that sticks out. And again, both fragrances have the same perfumer. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, perfumers do have a signature. That's kind of how that works. In my opinion, I like Roses Vanille a little bit more than I do Intense Cafe, which, to be fair, as you see, I have a full-size bottle of it. The lemon in this gives it a brightness about it, along with that rose in it and a vanilla. Although, to be fair, you can tell that maybe there was a little bit of some coffee, you know, dripped in here, you know, a little bit, even though it's not formally listed. Not prominent, but I can tell it's in there though. But the lemon in it makes up for this scent. It makes it brighter, longer lasting in my opinion. And this is a feminine fragrance. Another one, lasts forever. Full days wear. I wore this for, I want to say, Thanksgiving one year, and it carried me from house to house to house because that's how holidays are for us. And I'm like, this scent did what it needs to do. I did not have to top it off. So I'm impressed with the performance as well, which if you know Mancera fragrances, again, they're gonna perform. Now you might not like the smell of it, but you're gonna like the performance. I can never take that from the house. And that is my interpretation, y'all, of the comparison to Intense Cafe with Rose's Vanille. Now moving forward, let's get a little bit more recent, shall we? So the next fragrance in this group of scents that kind of have this similar DNA, the next one came out, y'all, in 2017. So we had to move a little bit further. And let's see, 2017, the fragrance that came out, and this one gets a lot of love too, also a niche fragrance. This is from the house of Tiziano Terenzi, and this is Deluxe. You all have seen me talk about Deluxe. I love Deluxe. I still love Deluxe. It's a love. There ain't no like about it. I love Deluxe. So again, this one came out 2017, also a rose and coffee based fragrance, right? However, if you know anything about Tiziano Terenzi, you know they're gonna have a ton of other notes with their scents. They don't do simple at all. So let's get into it. So we have top notes of coffee, white hyacinth, and iris. Then in the middle, y'all, we have Turkish rose, vanilla, and open ox. And then in the base, y'all, we have honey, white musk, amber, and cedar. If you notice, these bases are similar, y'all. It's that musk, that amber, and that cedar I'm still seeing come up a lot, along with rose. So yeah, no, these compositions are indeed similar. So no, we are not all making this like it's in the notes. Like it really is. However, though, what made Deluxe smell different is the fact there's that honey note in this to me. That honey note, and then that hyacinth, which to me gives a little bit of floral powdery touch in my opinion. This is nice. This is nice. And I have to say, especially when we talk about Tiziano Terenzi, Deluxe does not smell like the others in my opinion. The musk in this one isn't the same as the more like fruitier takes, the other fruitier scents they have. Think like Draco, To Be, those type of fragrances. That is not Deluxe. Deluxe smells different. Even though Paolo Terenzi did do this one, I mean, he is the main perfumer there, but Deluxe does not smell like the rest of them. I really enjoyed this one. This is absolutely one of my favorite Tiziano Terenzi fragrances. I do have a full dedicated review up on the channel about it. But alas, yes, this is a rose and coffee scent. You can tell it is related, but this one still has some differences where I was like, okay, I got it. Hence y'all see a full size bottle because I'm a lover of honey. One thing about me, I love a honey note, and this has a honey note that I can smell. So I love Deluxe for that reason, and it is different enough to own it. And one thing about Tiziano Terenzi too, performance. Deluxe performs. Love it as a cold weather scent. No issues there. Now this next one I'm gonna talk about, she is super popular. This one, if you don't own anything else on this list, you probably have this one. You've probably heard about this one the most because this one had a run in the fragrance community. As you know, that's kind of how it is with the house of MFK, Mason Francis Kurkdjian, you all know. This scent, Gentle Fluidity Gold, comes up too. People love to bring up Gentle Fluidity Gold when we talk about Intense Cafe too. And I'm like, I don't really see that one. I didn't really get it, didn't jump out to me. But of course, I'm smelling things, I'm sampling things all the time. So, you know, sometimes, you know, we have to revisit things. And I did revisit it for the sake of this video. So Gentle Fluidity Gold, this one is a cult favorite from MFK. I think I put right behind, let me say, for the ladies, right behind Baccarat Rouge 540, I think Gentle Fluidity Gold would be number 2. That's what I'm noticing. Els, let me know what you think about that. I think this would be like the second most popular fragrance for the ladies. So let's talk about it, y'all. So with Gentle Fluidity Gold, we have top notes of juniper berries, then we have nutmeg, then in the middle, y'all, we have our coriander, base of vanilla, musk, amberwood, and caramel, right? This one is like a very casual, very light scent to me. But does it compare to Intense Cafe? But to me, these do not smell the same. They do not smell the same in my opinion. I get the vanilla, the musk again, that base, again, it's that base in it. I can see where people compare the dry down, but to me, I don't get that. And this is another one I've had for years as well. As you can see, my juice is darker and there's a dent. I've had it for a while and I'm like, this doesn't smell like Intense Cafe, but people bring it up. So on that one, I'm gonna have to say no, they're doing their own thing. They're different scents. And plus the juniper berries and Gentle Fluidity Gold to me is what makes this scent stand out. It's not just another vanilla and musk scent. If it didn't have the juniper berries, then it would be like, then it would just smell like everything else. But the juniper berries is what gives this scent personality. And this is just an easier, lighter, airier wear to me. It's not as thick and dense as these other fragrances I just talked about. I have have to think about wearing the other ones. This one I could throw on with a white t-shirt and go live my best life. Like, no questions asked about it, because it's simple. So that is my take on that. I do not think Ginger Fluidity Gold is similar to Intense Cafe. I don't think that. Then the next fragrance, and the last one we're going to talk about, is actually the newest one to my collection. This was a blind buy, which is so funny about it. I kept hearing wonderful things about this scent, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what it's giving, and you know, I'll give my thoughts. So the next one people have brought up is a comparison, and I think it's kind of more so better suited as a comparison of comparison, and I'll explain what I mean. But Xerjoff's Cambridge Club. Yes, Cambridge Club. This is an old scent as well. Cambridge Club, by the way, and Ginger Fluidity Gold both came out in 2019. I want to specify that as well. So it's a recent fragrance. So it has top notes of Bulgarian rose. The middle note is rose. Then we have coriander. And then the base shot, we have our caramel and bourbon vanilla. Now, to be fair, the only similarity that I'm getting out of this is rose. Because once you get into bourbon vanilla is thicker to me and not just light and airy vanilla. There is no musk in here. It also has caramel in here. So now we're getting more gourmandy, in my opinion. So, okay. But people bring it up, so let's talk about it. I have to say, though, I see it. I can see the comparison to Intense Cafe. I can see it because smelling this, what I get, truthfully, is a better blended, a better done version of Intense Cafe. That's what I'm getting. This one's a little bit sexier to me. It's a little bit sexier because one thing about Xerjoff, and I've said this about other Xerjoff fragrances here on the channel, Xerjoff is gonna give you a good blend. Now, do you like the fragrance? Not necessarily, but you can't deny how well they blend their fragrances. That's what you're paying for when it comes to Xerjoff, in my opinion. But this one's sexier because it's not as gritty, it's not as like rough around the edges to me compared to Intense Cafe. That one's a little harsh. It's a little bit more harsher. This one is better done, in my opinion. And also, since we're here, like I say, another comparison people often make concerning Cambridge Club is people often say that, oh, it smells like Ginger Fluidity Gold. But in my opinion, no. Ginger Fluidity Gold, again, juniper berries is what makes this scent smell different. And this is casual, easy, lighthearted. Whereas Cambridge Club, I am stepping out wearing Cambridge Club. Cambridge Club to me is date night worthy, in my opinion. And I'm enjoying her again. She was a blind buy. Total love for me. So all in all, I have to say, out of these 5 fragrances, are there similarities? Yes. Do they all necessarily smell exactly the same? In this case, exactly like Intense Cafe? Not necessarily. Some do, some don't, but all of them still kind of give me their own personality in their own way. They're still doing their own thing. And it's kind of one of those things of, if you like the DNA, then you would end up with multiples of them, kind of like I have. But I also have to say too, when I compare all of these scents together, side by side, again, Intense Cafe, I'm a test refill, Tiziano Terenzi's Deluxe, Mancera's Roses Vanille, MFK's Ginger Fluidity Gold, and of course at the end we have Xerjoff's Cambridge Club to round things out. Which one is my favorite of this type of DNA to me? 100%, I gotta say, Xerjoff. Because to me, Xerjoff came at the end. It and Ginger Fluidity Gold again came out in 2019 in comparison to the other fragrances. This is one of those cases when sometimes you don't necessarily need to be first. You need to be the one to do it right. That's what happened with this. And in my opinion, Xerjoff did it right. This is the best one, in my opinion, for what's the type of DNA. So I say that to say that if I had to only choose one out of these, it would be this one. Cambridge Club. It would be this one 100%. By the way, again, all of these I paid for with my own money. Nothing was gifted, so no biases in that regard. These are just fragrances I have enjoyed, a DNA I have enjoyed. But yeah, in my opinion, Cambridge Club. Cambridge Club, they got the blend right. They did it right. So that is my thoughts on this topic. I just wanted to weigh in on it because I get questions all the time. Well, does this smell like this? Does this smell like that? I'm honored that y'all trust my nose. I really do appreciate that. But yes, that is my topic again concerning, do these all smell like Intense Cafe? And now we know Intense Cafe was not the OG. It wasn't. It was in fact Roses Vanille. Let me know what you think, everyone, about this video. Do you agree with my nose? Do you think I'm wrong? It's okay. Fragrance is subjective. That's what makes the world go around. Let me know in the comments below and we can talk about it. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.